Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. I am your host, Kay Cote, and we are in for another great episode on the show today. We have Zach Roesinger, CEO and founder of CRE Broker Booster, as my guest. Today, we're going to be learning all about his business, his journey to business ownership, challenges, and some of the best practices that he has learned along the way to give you that inside look to what it's really like to run and operate a business. If this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop episodes like this. Welcome, Zach. It is so great to meet you.
Thank you, Kay Cote. There you go. Just like Zach Racing, you got it right on.
Awesome.
Thank you
Yes,
very
I
much for
love
having me
that.
on.
Of course. I'm so excited to learn more about you and your business. So let's kick it off. Tell me a little bit about yourself and a little bit about CRE Broker Booster.
Happy to. I'm Zach Racinger. I live here in Austin, Texas, and most of the time I spend my time as a commercial real estate broker. So I help people buy, sell, lease, and develop, as well as invest in commercial real estate, mostly in flex industrial land development all across this state. And so I formed a business around what I saw as a gap in the market, which is a lot of the times real estate brokers spend a lot of time marketing, trying to learn how to use social media, and just by convention, most are Luddites. So they're very technologically adverse. They're great in relationship building. So most of commercial real estate or real estate in general is your ability to explain what is happening inside of the market, why what they're about to sell or buy or is a good value to them. But at the end of the day, it's relationships. People buy from those that they know, like, and trust. And if you have the trust of somebody, even if you don't have all the information, those type of brokers do really well. And the best way to get your properties in front of the most amount of people is by effectively marketing. What I saw is a lot of people were trying to learn how to do Canva, and they're trying to do TikTok, and they were not doing what they love to do, which is take a client out to dinner, go play golf, spend more time with your clients, talking to them about what their concerns are. And then the rest of it, of how they find you, has traditionally been through putting a giant sign in your yard. Well, as you know, here, we have a lot of entrants from outside of Austin. A lot of people in California, people for Samsung, for example, coming in from South Korea. They're not driving around looking for real estate. What they're doing is going on the internet, and they're going to one of a few places where we as commercial real estate brokers put our listings, which is LoopNet, CoStar, and Crexy. And so those people that had great marketing materials, we call it package, if they had great marketing materials, everybody can see what they are offering, how much it's worth, what type of photos exist, what type of financials are out there, and is it a good investment from a very high level. Of course, they always want to come and see it afterwards, but you have a lot of people staying at home or in their office, and they want to find out where they should be investing or what type of product is out there. And when I was looking at some of these listings that I was trying to help my clients buy, they would say, "Hey, I found something on the internet last night, but all I can find is this black and white photo and or a very vague description." I said, "Well, look, this is a great piece of property. Just because they don't have great photos and they don't have a great marketing package, it shouldn't limit this person." And I started reaching out to them, and they say, "Well, I just don't know enough about it, or I don't have a time for a VA, or the one that I do have is really busy doing emails or administrative stuff." So I said, I'm really great at these packages. And I kept having people reach out and they say, "This is an amazing package. I don't want the property, but the package is amazing. Who do you pay to do this?" And I said, "No, I do this. I have a team, and we put together these packages, and I'm happy to do it for you. There's a cost to it." And they said, "It doesn't matter. You know that we make 6% on our listings, and 6% of $10 million can pay you time and time again. But if I don't even get the at bat because somebody cannot understand what I'm trying to sell, then there's no use in putting up something that's inferior." So I was able to easily brand it and help other brokers with their marketing, help developers and investors present their properties in an effective way. So as a lot of small businesses, it comes out of a need that you see in the market, in a product that you understand, and that you too have felt that pain and said, "I can do better. I can put some time, energy, and effort into this." And then I think others could also benefit from that. And for that, they're willing to pay a lot of money to do so. So that's the genesis of my business, CRE Broker Booster. I've been here for 7 years. I know we live in a very similar area in Austin, and I love it here. I've been to over 100 countries now, and I chose here to live. So if that's any testament to anything, we have a great, just an environment here. We live on the south side of the river, and it's, as they say, keeping Austin weird. And it's one of the great things. It's the reason Elon and his companies are coming, and Google and Facebook and TikTok and all these guys are coming here because it's such a great place to live, and it's bringing a lot of small business, helping small businesses grow because big businesses are coming here and setting up shop.
Oh, very true. Well, thank you so much for giving that rundown. That's a really unique service. I'm very excited to dive into that deeper because the niche of it, and especially being in the industry, it sets you apart and gives you that edge to help your clients. And looking at kind of where you're at right now, do you have like a team behind you in this, and what does that look like?
That's a good question. So it depends. I get questions all the time. I'm on TikTok. I'm CRE underscore pro underscore network. And not very many commercial real estate brokers are on TikTok. And that allows me to set myself apart. I'm the number 11 in the country of commercial real estate brokers on TikTok. Now that not might not seem like a lot, or it might seem like a lot. I don't know. But when I ask other people, how are you, those that are ahead of me, right? Because just like in commercial real estate brokerage and just like we're doing today, I think a lot of this is growth of the network. So it's cross posting, it's helping your fellow small businesses grow in their business. And one of the ways that I can do that is by highlighting small businesses using my channel of TikTok. So I have enough followers that I can go live. I enjoy doing it, but I'm also one of just a few. So when I put up a TikTok, and just like a podcast, it'll run in the background, right? It's marketing for me 24/7, 365. People are watching it all over the country, all over the world, and I'm getting calls all the time, or emails, or inquiries. Now they're not all as you would imagine when you get a referral from your friend and he said, "Oh yeah, this guy also buys real estate and he has no knowledge. He just needs somebody to help him." A lot of times it's people that just want to know more about what I just talked about or what I'm doing. And I give my phone number, I provide my email. I'm always glad to answer questions, particularly for small businesses that are trying to grow, because sometimes they just don't know what the next steps are. And so I try to help them by providing them some insight. And if there's another way that I could help them, then I'll do that as well. So I've had some success growing my business digitally. And a lot of those videos I just learned how to do myself. I think like a lot of TikTok creators or a lot of video creators, I just got CapCut, I got TikTok, and from there I was able to start editing videos. And the same thing like I get for the packages that I create for marketing. People say, "Oh, you must have this amazing, great team that's doing this," and all the while I'm thinking these look really bad. But in compared to what? Compared to Mr. Beast, yeah, maybe, but compared to everybody else who's not doing it, I'm looking great. I'm 100% better than everybody else who's not doing it. So that's the way it's like a zero and one, zero of one, or one of zero mentality. Like just do something. If you start seeing some traction anywhere, and it takes a while, just like your podcast, just like I have a TV show on Apple TV. So that takes a while to grow, but it's running 24/7. So I'm able to help people on a 24/7 basis. If they like my video, great. If they share my video, even better. But if they gain some sort of insight or they relate to some sort of problem that they have, maybe they inherited a property. Now they're saying, "Oh no, I have to start paying taxes on this. I don't want to do that. I want to benefit today. I want to go buy a Ferrari, or I want to go buy a McDonald's and just collect the checks all day. I mean, every month." So there's a lot of opportunity to help people out there, but it does require you creating an SOP, a standard operating procedure, then going to somewhere like Upwork or hiring a local VA or just hire the local college kid or high school kid for an after school job. I mean, a high school kid knows way more than you and I will ever know about TikTok. And who better to help? And, it's like the modern day equivalent of raking leaves or something when I was a kid. If somebody were to say, "You don't have to go stand out in the hot sun in the middle of the summer and you can just produce my TikTok videos and I'll pay you twice as much," because it's worth it to me to have somebody do that because they're going to do a
Mhm.
great job and they're going to do it while I'm doing something else. So I think it's good to have a team behind you, but it shouldn't be something that holds you back. It should be something that you think about. Now, is my time, my mental energy, is it worth it to spend time editing these videos, or should I just do a Loom or a Notion, right? Should I record the way I'm doing it and then just go find somebody, pay them more than you think they're worth, keep them around, train them for a while, and then they're growing their business, their small business the same way. So, some of the to answer your question, some of the things I have a team to do, some of them I don't. It's just like brokerage. In my brokerage, I work with a lot of the junior agents who are don't have experience, but they have energy to go and find out who owns a piece of land. Once they get that listing, then they're like, oh no, like now I have this really great opportunity, but I don't want to drop the ball. So who do I know that knows how to do that? Well, I know how to do that. I've been doing it for 20 years. I know exactly how to do that, and I know how to do it effectively, but I don't have the time to go find who owns the land and go talk them into it and get them to sell the property, but I can help them sign the listing agreement and go market it. Again, with a CRE broker booster type of a platform, it just really helps you outsource a lot of the hard, heavy lifting, but it also allows you to do the things that you're really good at. And so a team is important, but it shouldn't be something that holds you back.
Oh, yes. So currently, would you like how many would you say full-time employees or contracted employees or part-time employees do you have on your
That's a pretty wide question because I'll spin up something. For example, I'm in the process of producing software that I do in Bubble, but I have very low, very minimal experience, let's say. So I'm very used to seeing code from when I was younger that I would write code, and but I was never that great at it. But now we've got like really great resources. If you just move from, you know, ChatGPT into another no code program. I just on my LinkedIn channel the other day said, hey, I know many of you out there don't know how to code, but let me just show you with saying 5 sentences, I can build an application that can specifically tell me how to underwrite a loan, what I need to do that, and it codes it on the right hand side. It shows you what it's writing. It's amazing. So there's a lot of, I would call them hacks, but I would call them, insights or advancements that are happening. But there are some things that are so unique that those quick fixes or hacks don't really aren't really marketable beyond that. So it's a good way to test the procedure. But after that, then I hire on a team or I hire on a contract worker or I go to Upwork and hire a contractor or Fiverr. Depends on what the task is and how expensive it is and how many times recurring I need them. So
Mhm.
in commercial real estate brokerage, we operate in a way of a little bit different than maybe a software than software sales, which I'm also used to, which is you have a broker who is in charge of everybody, but they're really not involved in every deal, so they carry the license. Then you have brokers, and those brokers are senior brokers, and they have experience, but they don't have all the energy or time in the world. Then you have junior brokers. So I have junior brokers I work with, but they're not employees, right? We're all commercial real estate, all real estate people, you may or may not know, are 1099 employees. So we don't have to ever go into the office. We don't ever have to do anything the employer or the broker which is I guess is not an employer, but it's somebody we work for or work with. We are contract employees for our broker. So just the same way that those that I work with on an everyday basis, they're not my employees, they're my partners. And we decide how much we're going to split each commission, how much we're going to split each work assignment, and who you like to work with and don't like to work with. But when I do hire a team of people, and I do have employees that are administrative, and those are I would say in the firm, and we all share them. There's probably 20 in the firm. Depends on what they do, marketing or admin. We hire or we have interns, for example, that are learning the business, and they're licensed, but they're still interns. So they have to do half the time they're doing administrative work, helping us putting together flyers, for example. Again, there's usefulness, but somebody with a license to broker real estate may not be the best selection to be putting together a marketing package or to taking photos or doing the drone work. So there's a mismatch sometimes, but by being around that, right? It's maybe a little bit below what their skill level is, but they are open to learning new things. And the way they do that is by taking on assignments that are maybe a little bit higher or a little bit more, I don't know, complex than they are used to. But so they still have to do some of the, I'll call it grunt work, but it's, the day-to-day work that nobody really likes to do, the cold calling, for example. But by doing that, they find opportunities and they bring it to somebody who has, like me, that has more experience, and I can show them how to do it. So they're not really employees, they're more partners. And I encourage more people, more small businesses to try to partner with other small businesses in order to grow. Just like founders love to be around other founders because you're going through the same thing, right? You're facing the same problems and you can share the solutions without cannibalizing your own business. So I
Mhm.
suggest partnership, but I've had this conversation a lot recently because sometimes partnerships don't go so well. Um, Once money gets involved, right? At the beginning, you have some quick, great wins with your partner, and then you say, "Oh, we're going to be in this together forever. It's going to be great. We're best friends." And then you start making a lot of money, and things change. So I do suggest partnering, but really laying out the roles early as much as you can, drafting up an operating agreement if it's something that's going to be long term, and if not, then as you were mentioning, just bring on an employee or pay them a salary if you can, because it's good to have a leadership. I would say a boss, but it's good to have leadership inside of a company so that when it comes down to making a decision, it's not an indecision, because
Mhm.
indecision will kill your business. If you have a big uh, uh, contract coming in, somebody wants to employ you to do something or use your services, and you can't decide which way to go to take the assignment or not, or how to operate once you're on board with them, they see that indecision as weakness. And people don't want to hire other groups that are weak. They want to hire the strongest of the strong. So coming in a unified way is the best way I've found to do that, is to have strong leadership. And oftentimes strong leaders have to be the boss, they have to be the owner or the founder, or you have to have a great partnership relationship, and some do.
Very true. Well, thank you for sharing that. This has been such a great conversation, and I want to move into the a very fun part of the Q&A, which is the I call it the rapid fire questions,
Sure.
where I ask you four questions and you answer very top of mind. Are you ready for some
You
rapid
know,
fire?
this is not my kryptonite. You heard how gregarious I am and loquacious I can be. So you're probably like, oh, this guy doesn't understand the rules of rapid fire, but I do. So I'm listening to you. So yeah, go ahead, fire away.
All right, question number one is what is the key to success for you?
The key to me for success is hard work, determination, and having a plan. So knowing what you're going to do, trying to execute that plan, and then pivoting when it's not working out. So having a plan and attacking.
Yes, love that. Number two is what is a piece of advice you have for other business owners?
I think it's again, it's great to determine whether you're a partner, a lone wolf, or what the core of your business is. So try not to get distracted by the shiny object, the new thing that comes in the door. Uh, but if you do, commit 100% to that thing. Go all in, or don't go at all, because oftentimes indecision leads to no decision, and no decision leads to you running out of money with your marketing and not hitting your goal. So, making a decision, going all in, moving forward, and going in a unified direction.
Love that. Number three is it could be a book or a podcast, any piece of content you've taken in most recently.
I've got two for you here. I'm a voracious reader, but I've got two for you here. I've got two for your audience. This is giftology. My father gives all of his. He's also in the same business I am, and so it can be very nepotistic. But he is in Denver. He gives away a one called Mr. Smooze, and when I gave it to somebody, because I love to give books away, he said, "I've got a better one for you." So giftology. The one that I'm reading that I think that your audience might like the best is this one. This is Dan Martell, Buy Your Time, or Buy Back Your Time. I'm loving this book right now, and the reason I'm loving it is because just as I was elaborating on earlier, there are some tasks that are interesting and fun, and you really gravitate towards them because it's your skill and it's your passion and your desire. And there are others that you're doing because you're saying, well, I can do it better than anybody else. Well, probably you can because you care about it more. But if it's something that you can scale and repeat, find a way to buy back your time. And this is a
Mm,
good book of a way to do that.
definitely. Thank you. Final question is, if you could wave a magic wand and overnight rapidly improve one aspect of your business, what would it be?
Absolutely focus. So, focusing on what drives bottom line revenue, what activities that I'm taking on a daily basis that I enjoy doing can provide more fruitful revenue for my company, for my employees, for my clients? How can I provide the most value for the time that I'm committing to it and enjoy my life the most? As you know, here in Austin, there's a lot of great things to do all the time. I'd love to be outdoors more often, spend more time with my family. And the way I think you can do that is by leveraging your time and doing the things that you like to do. So work doesn't feel like work if you love doing it. So hopefully you can find a job, a profession, or start a business that allows you to love your life all the time. I think I've found that.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Zach. This has been such a great conversation. Before we wrap up with our final question, how can folks get plugged in with your business online?
Absolutely. I'm big on LinkedIn. I will provide a note for you in the show notes below of how to find me on Apple TV, TikTok, Instagram. I'm all over the place. I think the more mediums you can be on, the more places you can share your gift, the better. And ultimately, go check out CREBrokerBooster.com if you'd like to know more about our marketing packages or the services that we offer to brokers to help them close more business faster and spend more time with their clients.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing. And for our final question of the day, what is most inspiring to you today?
The most inspiring thing to me is the leaders of the community. Giving back to your community through selfless service is most important because, all in all, we live in this world together, being kind and nice to other people. But those that give up their time to help the less fortunate, those that help those people in their company aspire and do greater things, those are what make the world better. So I just advise, or I'd ask everybody that's listening to this to try to help just one person today. Give one person a great comment or just smile at somebody random. Try to brighten their day and make the world a better place.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Zach. This has been an inspiring conversation. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me on.